Today I shall impersonate a man. Come, enter into my imagination now and see him. Bony, hollow face, eyes that burn with the fire of inner vision. He conceives the strangest project ever imagined, to be a gold miner and to rend forth from the earth a king's ransom in gold. His name? Don Lorenzo de Monte Cristo. Hear me now, O lovely county. Oh, I have been injured. Well, we are unable to bring you the rest of the program, Don Lorenzo de Monte Cristo. We'll now switch to your normally scheduled program. Thank you. Oh, wow, I really did want to hear that. Oh, well, in the last video, we had somebody that had come up in a four-wheel drive Ford truck, cut some locks, and made their way up the road. But I figured if they could do it in a four-wheel drive Ford, I could do it in a two-wheel drive Dodge. Yeah, it's a Hemi. Besides, I had to schlep up this big piece of sheet metal. It's a replacement for the cover of our septic tank. It's a little rusted out there, and I don't want to fall through it. But let's take a look inside. Oh, no, let's not. So we started doing some work on building a trommel. Using a 55-gallon plastic drum and a dryer motor, but that thing spun so fast, I mean, it would make a billy goat puke. So we had to get a different motor. We had to slow it down. I couldn't put a smaller pulley on that motor unless I ground the shaft down to a smaller diameter and ran the belt directly on the shaft. That little plastic tensioner wheel kind of gives me the jitters. It doesn't look like it's going to last too long. We had some suggestions about putting on a speed control. So we put a speed control on the dryer motor. Anyhow, that didn't work. Speed controller, you can only bring it down about 30% of the speed, and then it does that. It blows the fuse. And we still couldn't get the motor down to a reasonable speed. So we purchased a gear reduction motor. It runs at 175 RPM and then geared down to the barrel diameter compared to the diameter of the pulley. It runs about 10 to 12 RPM with a speed control designed and built for it. Now here we're just mocking it up, seeing how things fit and line up. I've got to get the belt to align with the barrel. The barrel's sitting at an angle, so the mount and the motor have to sit at an angle, and then I need some tensioning device, and instead of using a pulley or something goofy in between, I'm just going to let the motor mount pivot and pull down on the belt to give it proper tension. And here it is set up in its position. We're looking at the feed end, and then off to the right is the catch bucket for the materials. This is what we're going to be running through it. This has been collected from our stream. Let's throw some dirt in here and see what it does. Yeah, this is just a pan full of crap I picked up off the ground. Don't expect to find any gold in it. A nice handy feature that I have built in here is this water jet that sprays out the center. That way you can rinse out your bucket. And it also comes in handy if somebody is standing next to you telling you how to do it. You can hose them down. Alright, this is where the good stuff comes out, hopefully. It'll go into the bucket. What doesn't settle in the bucket and floats out into the basin will be hopefully caught there. Now we're working with microscopic fine gold, so we're not running this directly onto a sluice, as most trommels do. We take it inside and run it across our shaker table. And here's the discharge end. This is where all of our gravel comes out. Now we're recycling all this water, so we're catching it in these basins. It then travels down into our recirculation tank, which is this thing here that needs to be cleaned out. But it's about 250 gallons, and this water is treated with jet dry. Now here I've even cleaned up the shop. Got all my glassware cleaned, all my beakers. I even cleaned out my test tubes. Put them in their rack. Yes, sirree. Looking like a professional shop here. Even cleaned off the shaker table. Got it working again. Got the water flowing. And I even took some time and did some work on it. No, I didn't do anything to the floor. Screw it. In the meantime, Robert's working on the Manzanita mine. He's filling in this big washout trench. This dirt that he got is from the actually covering the front of the mine. And this is the inside of the mine. We have put up a door, keep some of the dirt out, and we have a visitor here. We got a skanky old bunny rabbit, got in here and died. It's really starting to smell funky. We need to get that door cleared out and open, get him out. But doesn't show much water until you get towards the back. And this timber here is a stall that's fallen down in the back and floated out to the front. We'll have to figure out what to do about that. Well, it looks like next season we're set for a good time. We've got some trommeling to do, and some gold recovery, and some digging, and some dead rabbit burying, and hopefully we don't get anything else dead in the mine. See ya!